Oh, you tell me stories, you tuck me in, and the second you leave, I call you right back to check for monsters.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. As you can tell by the title, today's video is going to be another skincare trial on the Ordinary Lactic Acid. If you're new to my channel, I do a bunch of skincare review videos where I test out skincare products for a longer span of time, usually 2 weeks to about a month, sometimes even longer than that, and I give you guys updates and I check in every few days to show you guys how my skin is doing when using that product. Before I get started, I do have a dry, sensitive, acne-prone skin, so just so you guys know kind of what my skin type is, so that you know if my recommendations will even help you. So a few weeks ago, I tested out the Ordinary AHA 30 and BHA 2% peeling solution. This is a super popular item on TikTok and everything. I tried this out for 2 months and I did really enjoy it, but what I found is sometimes it was a little too harsh for my skin, and in that video I mentioned that I can only use this maybe once a month, maybe twice a month, and I really have to space it out because it's just too harsh on my skin. And that's when I purchased the Ordinary Lactic Acid. So basically you have your AHAs, you have your BHAs, which are super strong exfoliants, and they're chemical exfoliants, so they remove, you know, that layer of dead skin on the surface, and they really make your skin feel a lot smoother. But you don't want to overdo it with chemical exfoliants because you can get chemical burns, your skin can become very irritated and sensitive, and you also have to make sure you're using a lot of sunscreen to protect yourself from the sun after using them. I wanted to try some other exfoliants that are a little less harsh and just better for sensitive skin, which I have. So, you know, that includes like lactic acids and PHAs. So that's why I purchased this from The Ordinary. This is the lactic acid 10% plus hyaluronic acid. Now they do also have a 5% version. That one was sold out, but basically this is just a higher concentration product. Now I was reading, you know, directions on how to apply this and everything like that right before I sat down to do this video. I always like to educate myself on products before I talk about them to you guys. So this, as opposed to the peeling solution, this one was a, you know, wash off treatment. You'd leave it on for, you know, 1 to 10 minutes. I usually did around 3 minutes and then I'd wash it off, whereas this one is actually a leave-on treatment. So you're supposed to use this once daily, preferably in the PM, and after cleansing, before any serums, oils, moisturizers, you apply this and then go in with all of your serums and moisturizers, and basically this is going to exfoliate the skin. You can also dilute this with other products like a moisturizer. Again, there is a sunburn alert on this. You do want to be careful with this and make sure you're using sunscreen the next day. I use sunscreen in my routine every day, as should you if you do have a skincare routine, so I highly recommend that. But basically this is supposed to fix uneven tone, texture, and fine lines, so just really do a great job at exfoliating the skin and kind of renewing it. And I have been doing pretty good with my acne treatments lately, so this is actually mostly just scarring that I have. You know, I have a few little bumps here and there, but most of it is just scarring, so I'm really interested to see how this is going to kind of exfoliate the skin and renew it. So let's just talk about the ingredients real quick. Of course, it has lactic acid, which I've kind of talked about already. It is an exfoliant. I see glycerin in here, kind of acts like a humectant. And of course it has the hyaluronic acid in here too, which is going to draw moisture back into the skin, which I kind of like that they kind of mix these two together, since you don't want to be over drying your skin with this. So I just took off my makeup, so I just used like a micellar water as my first cleanse. I'm going to go use my CeraVe foaming cleanser, and then I'll be back to apply the lactic acid. All right, so I'm back with a clean cleansed face. So let's just open this up. Here's the product. It has like a orangey tint to it. And I just really quickly want to mention, if you are going to be using a lactic acid like this, I would say avoid using peptides, vitamin C, or retinol, because it can kind of interfere with those ingredients. It doesn't really, you know, especially like retinol and vitamin C, they're very strong ingredients, and although they can be very good, you want to be careful with what you're using them with. So I would say if you do use a retinol or vitamin C and you want to use this, I would do one night use this, the other night use your retinol, and kind of alternate back and forth. Don't use them all together. So I'm gonna go ahead and take some of this, and I am following the directions to apply this in the PM. It is nighttime right now. I'm doing my night routine. Oh, this is a very liquidy formula to it. I was expecting it to be more like the Ordinary Niacinamide, which kind of has some consistency to it, but this is literally just liquid. It all just went onto my hands. Okay, so I'm gonna pat this in. I would say it smells very similar to the peeling solution. And this feels kind of similar too. Like, this is kind of how my skin feels after I apply the peeling solution. So it's very tacky on the skin, so that's interesting. Very tacky on my fingers too. I'm gonna go in with niacinamide. This is a product you can use with it. So niacinamide is a pretty good ingredient at being able to combine with a bunch of different things. So it's usually pretty safe to use, and I like tapping this one in as well. And then I'm just gonna go in with my CeraVe Daily Moisturizer. I'm not gonna apply any other products tonight, keep it pretty simple. Of course, my skin always gets red after I touch it. Here's my skin on day 1 of using the lactic acid. It feels a little tingly, and I can definitely feel something going on. Not as strong of a sensation as with the peeling mask, but as you can see, my skin is getting pretty red. I'm going to wear this for the night, and I will check in with you guys in a few days. All right, guys, so time for the first update. It has actually been a full week of me using the Ordinary Lactic Acid. I was so busy with school last week and didn't realize I didn't do many updates, but I thought I'd give you guys a more in-depth update today. So I have been using this for a week now, and I've been using it absolutely every single night, and I do think it really works. So looking at my skin, I did get some breakouts, not from this product at all. I did a lot of filming last week, and I just have a few like small breakouts from wearing makeup so much last week. I didn't notice any breakouts from immediately using this, so that's good. What I do have to say though is I definitely noticed a difference when using this, even just for the past week. Every morning when I wake up and look in the mirror, my skin looks so much more glowy. This really does a great job at exfoliating. I haven't had like dry patches this whole week, and usually sometimes like around my nose I get you know, that skin that needs to be exfoliated off, and this has really helped control that, so I do like it for that. I've been applying this every single night right after cleanser and before any other serums or moisturizers. So I go in with a cleanser, then I apply some of this, then I apply my Ordinary niacinamide, and I will have to say that the niacinamide and this work well together. I don't find any irritation or oversensitivity from using both of them in my nightly routine. Then I just go in with a moisturizer, and that's really it. I haven't been applying like any salicylic acid or anything as an acne treatment because I don't want to really interfere with the lactic acid too much. So I've really just been keeping it super simple when using this. Now I will have to say the first few nights I used it, my skin did have a bit of that, you know, tingly, I wouldn't say burning sensation, but I definitely could feel this on my skin kind of working, if that makes sense. Similarly to how I felt this one, but way more toned down. With this one, as soon as it was on my face for like 2 to 3 minutes, I had to get it off because it was just too much. Whereas this one, it's a leave-on treatment. You leave it on all night, and I didn't find that sensitivity as I got from the peeling solution. And I've been using this as directed. I haven't been diluting it. I haven't been using it, you know, more spread out. I've been using it every single night, the same amount, and I haven't been experiencing that sensitivity. And of course, I'm using lots of SPF the next day, every single morning, as I do every day, but especially you want to make sure you're using an SPF when using an acid like this to make sure that your skin is protected from the sun, as this, you know, does exfoliate the skin. It's an amazing exfoliator, especially for sensitive skin, since it's not too harsh, and it's just a great like nightly thing that you can do just to make sure your skin is looking nice and glowy and fresh without overdoing it. Now that doesn't mean I don't like this product at all. I just can't use this as often. It's a little too harsh for my skin. So for right now, I feel like this is a way better option if you are like me and have pretty sensitive skin, or your skin gets really red, or you just don't want to overdo it with the exfoliation. So as I said, here is my skin right now. I feel like it just looks more glowy and shiny, like especially here, without being too stripped. So sometimes we mistake glowing skin with stripped skin, because when you use like a really intense cleanser, you get that really shiny but almost like matte look to your skin, and it looks really pretty, and that's not what we want. As this hasn't been stripping my skin at all, but it still gives my skin that nice look. I am testing this out for 2 weeks, so 1 week left, and I will see you guys soon. Alright guys, so excuse how I look. I'm just about to start on my night routine and jump in the shower, but I did want to quickly update you guys on the lactic acid. What I've noticed with my skin is I've noticed a bit of like peeling almost. I don't know if you guys can see it, but like right here I have like a patch of dry skin ready to peel. Maybe you guys can kind of see it better with me using my back camera. As you can see, it's like kind of white and flaky, And I've had that for the past few days now, and I just think it's kind of renewing and getting rid of that top layer of skin, which is a good sign, honestly. Especially these scars right here are way less inflamed and red. So I do feel like this is actually helping to heal them. So I feel like it is actually really helping kind of exfoliate the skin and renew the skin as well without being too harsh. So I'm gonna go wash my face, and then I'm going to apply the lactic acid as I have been for this past week and a half. All right, so the skin is now completely cleansed. So I'm just gonna grab my lactic acid. I take about 1 to 2 drops of this on my hand, and I like to pat this one into the skin. Now, even though I did say that my skin is kind of having those dry flakes as I showed you guys, my skin doesn't feel dry at all. It actually feels nice and hydrated and glowy by the time I'm done my skin routine, and continues to feel like that throughout the night and during the day. Like, it doesn't feel dry ever. And I will say my skin has gotten used to this acid. Like, it doesn't have that burning sensation as much when I put it on. And it wasn't like burning excessively, like to the point where I shouldn't be using it. It was just that slight, like almost tingly sensation when you apply it, since it is an acid that's supposed to exfoliate. Sometimes if I need, I'll take half a drop more and concentrate it like on my T-zone if I didn't grab enough the first time. And already you can kind of see my skin kind of has that glow, but it's not like over stripped or anything like that. Sometimes it's easy to confuse over stripped skin with glowy skin, but my skin definitely feels hydrated, which is good. Then I just go in with my Ordinary Niacinamide, 2 to 3 drops, and tap this in as well. And I have had no issues with these products working together, and I haven't had any sensitivities from using both, so that's good. And then for night moisturizer, I switch between my CeraVe and then my Xeon Health. This one is a bit more moisturizing, so I'm going to use it today since I was wearing a mask a lot of today, and masks always over dry out my skin, so I want to make sure that my moisture barrier is replenished by using this. So I've definitely noticed this glow that my skin has these past few days, and especially when I wake up in the morning after using the lactic acid. I look in the mirror and my skin is so glowy. My acne is super red just because I was touching my face and stuff, but my actual skin health is really nice and glowy. So I feel like this is really working well, and I definitely feel like these scars over here are lightening up quite a bit from this. So overall, I'm really happy with the lactic acid so far. Hey guys, so it's actually been a while since I last updated you. I actually decided to use the lactic acid for 1 additional week, making it 3 weeks total for this trial video, just because I really wanted to get more experience with it and really just finalize my thoughts to tell you guys. So I just finished washing my face, so now I'm going to do my night routine with you guys while I talk about the product. So this will be the final check-in of this video. So just grabbing the lactic acid here. And I usually do 1 to 2 or maybe 3 drops of this and rub it into my hands, and then I pat it into the skin. I find patting works best. Really make sure I get everywhere. And from using it every day, I don't get that like burning-ish sensation anymore. Sometimes if my skin was a little dry that day, I'll get a bit of that tingly sensation, but nothing more than that. And then I go in with my Ordinary Niacinamide, and look at how much I've used of this. I need to get a new one. This is like probably one of my favorite skincare products that I've discovered this year. So I take 2 to 3 drops of this, rub it into my hands, and pat this in right after the lactic acid. As I said in my last update, these work really well together. I haven't had any sensitivity issues with them combined, and as I stated in the beginning of the video, I have very sensitive skin. It's a good sign, I guess, that they haven't reacted weirdly. Then I just grab a simple moisturizer, and that's all I've been doing. I haven't been doing any like spot treatments or anything at night because I don't want like any salicylic acid or anything like that to react weirdly with the lactic acid. So since I've been testing this product out strictly for the past 3 weeks, I haven't used any other active at night. I will sometimes in the morning, but I am careful because it is in the morning. All right, so now that that's done, I do want to say that I'm going to obviously keep using this product, but since I did just say that I can't really use any other actives with it, I think, you know, I will kind of rotate this through, so maybe use it every second night so that I can still use other products in between. I did want to use this strictly every day for this video to really see the effects of it and see if my skin can handle it, and I will say my sensitive dry skin handled this fine. Using it every day, I didn't experience any like increased sensitivity. I would say, like, you know, the first few days my skin was kind of like, ooh, what is this? But nothing really extreme, especially nothing remotely close to the AHA BHA peeling solution. This, as I said, I could only have on my skin for maximum like 2 to 3 minutes, and I had to wash it off immediately, whereas this is a leave on like overnight treatment. And I will say this is an amazing, you know, everyday product, especially if you have sensitive skin like me. Definitely notice that like glowy skin appearance. Ignore like, you know, the acne and stuff, because this product wasn't a product that was supposed to help with acne at all, but I will have to say that I do think it lightened up this scarring right here pretty nicely in the span of 3 weeks. Scarring is something that takes a long time to heal, so I do feel like it did kind of heal that down a little bit and help kind of lighten it up a little bit within the 3 weeks, so that's awesome. My skin feels a lot smoother since using this. You can see how it has a bit more of that glow, and it doesn't feel dry or overstripped. It's literally just that top layer of dead skin being exfoliated every day, so my skin looks really nice and glowy, but it's not over exfoliated, which is really key, because something like the AHA BHA, you can't use this every day. Your skin will literally fall off if you were to use this every day. Like, I use this maybe twice a month at most, so I was really impressed with this, that it didn't sensitize my skin or anything like that, and I will definitely keep it in my everyday routine. But because I do test a lot of products out and I do use, you know, a bunch of different treatments, I will kind of cycle it through. Just be careful with what you're mixing your ingredients in. Always make sure you're doing your research on how ingredients can mix before you put them on your skin. Do you know, patch tests, everything like that. You do want to be pretty safe with it. But I will have to say that with niacinamide, this worked as a perfect combination, and I actually did like it because this works to take down redness and inflammation, and then this, you know, helped kind of smooth out my skin and exfoliate. So it's just a really nice kind of mixture right here. It might be hard to tell on camera and stuff, but my skin feels a lot more glowy. It's not as dull, so that's really great. I usually have a lot of dry skin around my nose and my T-zone, and I haven't really noticed that as much lately. I did show you guys that I did have some, you know, dry patches when using this. Even though I had those like flakes come up, my skin didn't feel dry, so it was definitely, you know, a part of the progress of this lactic acid. So far I have to say I love this product. I love it way more than I thought I would. I was like, oh, just another exfoliator, let's see what it does, all of this. But honestly, I think this might have to be one of my favorite skincare trials I've done, one of my favorite products I've tested and discovered. And I do want to do a video pretty soon doing like a side-by-side comparison of the BHA, AHA, and the lactic acid, and talk about the pros and cons of each, the differences, everything like that. So if that's something you're interested in, let me know down below in the comments. But as far as the lactic acid goes, I highly recommend it as an amazing exfoliator, especially if you have sensitive skin, or even if you don't and you want something that you could use more on a daily basis. I think this is awesome, and I definitely give it a try. If you want to see more of these types of videos, I'll link down below in the description my whole playlist on all my skincare trials, but I do have a lot more skincare trial content coming very soon, so make sure you turn on my post notifications so you don't miss out on any of those videos. And also, don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day or night whenever you're watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.
Oh, you tell me stories, you tuck me